Hello everybody, I'm live, isn't that it? Reviewing Expendables 4, which I'd just seen, and that great fucking film, like, fucking really action packed. I can see why he didn't, because it hadn't done all that good, because it's like action from the start, a little bit of storyline in the middle, and then action all the way to the end. Like, fucking hell, yeah. So much action for these side cunts, probably. But yeah. Well, great fucking action scenes, and it's like rated R, and I can see why. So there's a lot of fucking gore and fucking bodies being fucking blown up and all that shit. And then you see fucking Megan Fox. Spoilers. This is like a major spoiler. No, it's not a major spoiler. But you see Megan Fox at the end with a like wife beater top on, where it's real tight and she's not wearing a bra, so you can pretty much see her tits. So a bit of a spoiler that. You know, Megan Fox doesn't die, but yeah. Fucking great film though. Great film. Obviously, yeah, and Sylvester Stallone in it, but he wasn't in it for that long. Like, I'm not gonna major spoil it by saying how long he's in it for, but it's really more of a Jason Statham sort of action film where Jason Statham sort of becomes sort of rogue, goes rogue. But a bit of an incident happens beforehand before he goes rogue, so it's not like, yeah, but he has to, like, well, but he teams up obviously at the endish part. So, but he gets help from Tony Jaa. So there's a bit where him and Tony Jaa are like there for about 10 minutes of the film, where it's just them two, sort of thing, which is fucking good. It's fucking good. Like Tony Jaa and Jason Statham, so like on a team up movie. But I say it only lasts for about 10 minutes, and then fucking. But Jason Statham's doing most of the action in this film, and it's fucking real good action and all. So I think Stallone was like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, I'll do a bit more directing." Or he might have had some other fucking like things to do. Oh yeah. He was in it like first part, obviously. But no major spoilers to say why he's not in it. But yeah, the first third of the film, Stallone's in it, and for the second and third, he's hardly in it. So yeah, he was doing some other stuff probably. Thought, oh yeah, just let Jason Statham do most of the action in it, which he does, and it's fucking good. I say, like, these sign-head bitches won't be fucking wanting to watch Expendables for, because it's like, oh, there's too much action in it. Sign-head bitches. Oh, fuck. Well, that's sign-head bitches for you. Can't handle masculine action. I know one sign-head bitch will be like, oh, all it was Jason. Or should I say, all it was Jason Statham going around kicking ass. And shagging Megan Fox. Because, no major spoilers if you've seen the fucking um, trailers to it. That Jason Statham's sort of got with fucking Megan Fox. He's banging her all over, sort of thing. Oh, and then there's a Chinese bird. No, she's not Chinese. She looks a bit like Chinese, but she's not Chinese. But anyway, oh, I think Stallone was having a bit of a laugh. I think they said to him, oh, yeah, you see what Disney's doing? They're turning the Force female. You need to turn Expendables in female. So he put another woman in, which was like, oh, really shit. Oh, she did a real good job, but just out of place. You know, you're thinking, oh no, she won't be with the Expendables. And she was using a chain, and all she didn't even use any machine guns are out. So it's like, no. Not only are you pretty unbelievable character to have in the Expendables being a woman, then you're a pretty unbelievable character because you're a woman just using a chain. Fuck. But whoever fucking written that fucking must have thought, well, these so-named bitches, they want to see a strong female, don't they? So they're putting a female, and then obviously fucking Megan Fox, isn't it? Where she did like as much action as the other female, which wasn't that much. But thankfully, as fuck, they realised, yeah, Megan Fox and their sort of Chinese mate, which fucking I can't even remember her character's name, but she used a chain and that, and so it was like, yeah, we'll have them two in, and we'll have them with the tits nearly out. So they knew like, oh yeah, eye candy. It's not like they was gonna do any great martial arts or fucking stunt scenes throughout. The bed with the chain did alright, but as I say, it was a bed and it looked out of place and that. But Jason Statham was doing most of the crazy shit. And obviously fucking Dolph Lundgren and like 50 Cent and Randy Cortez, or Corey, what his name is. And this new dude, I forget his name. What's his fucking name? Um, Not fucking now. There we go. Oh yeah, Jacob Scapia played Garland. Oh yeah, and Levi Chuang played Lash, which was the fucking one with the chain, I think, and that. And then oh yeah, Andy Garcia was in it and that. And then Eddie Hall, who like well strongman and that, he was in it. He played like a 2 minute sort of appearance as a thug. Oh well, not as a thug, it was, a biker because they wanted something. Well, it happens in the first 10 minutes of the film, so like it's where Stallone's lost his ring in a bet, and he wants his ring back. So he fucking gets Jason Statham and him to go to fucking this biker bar, and the dude who he'd lost the bet to, why he'd lost his ring, won't sell it back, and that. And so Jason Statham has to beat him up to like get the ring back. But Eddie Hall's in it, and like he's a thug that like gets sort of beaten up. Well, a biker, dude, should I say? He's not a thug because Stallone and Statham are the cunts in this situation because they've been told, look, we're not selling the ring. Like Stallone, or Barney is called. Barney Ross. Yeah, that's it. And then Statham will lead Christmas. But yeah, they say that no, we're not going to give the ring back. We won the ring, so it's ours, and we're not going to sell it. So Jason Statham beats him up, and they just take it. It's like fucking hell, like bit of theft sort of stuff. But yeah, yeah. It, and then it sort of like goes up into like the plot line more. It it is a bit of a like plot line for the ring later on. You find out, so that's why they like did this sort of thing. But yeah, fucking uh, Jason Statham and all. Not only does he beat him up, spoilers, but not a major spoiler, but uses knuckle dusters to beat him up. So not only does Stallone and Statham go in there and rob these bikers of their sort of trophy ring that they got off fucking that, but it's his like lucky ring. And well, anyway, he beats him up with knuckle dusters and that shit. So proper fucks him up and that. It's like fucking hell. Because apparently Barry he lost it in a fair bet and all. But he said he was drunk and that. So he like fucking might have been coerced into it being drunk. But anyway, yeah, that happened sort of like in the first 10 minutes because like the first sort of scene is where there's a fucking guard who's guarding this sort of place where fucking there's a general and that who's got these detonation fucking triggers that Akko who's like the main bad guy in the film for most of it anyway. He like and his group going there like armored up and that like shooting the shit out of them and shoots the dude's kid, which is like fucking hell yeah. He's showing he's a nasty bastard. Aiko always plays Serato. Yes, that's his dude. Like just goes in there, kills the wife at first, and then says, "If you don't tell me where these detonation fucking triggers are," which, like, you find out he needs these detonation triggers because there's about fucking 12 of them or 18 of them or something in a box and that. They're only about the size of a sort of like baseball or cricket ball sort of thing. But he needs them to detonate this big fucking nuke. But you don't know this because this is happening in the first book. Loads of action, loads of dudes getting shot to shit and that. Big explosions and that. Fucking. All out action. This, it's like on for 1 hour, 40 odd minutes, 42 minutes, I think, or 43. But anyway, obviously there's the credits at the end, which go on for about like fucking 5 or 10 minutes. But you're looking out at like 1 hour and 20 minutes worth of action. There's like 10 or 15 minutes where not much happens, there's more storyline and that. But most of it is just fucking like John Wick 4, where it's just action, 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 action. Let's talk a little bit because we need to fucking give this film a storyline. And then action, 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 action. I tell you how much action there was. I took like I had some snacks like little biscuits. I had little cookie biscuits in like a little packet and that. Well, there was so much action in Expendables 4 that I didn't even bother. Oh, because you usually will start opening your snacks when the boring bits come on and that shit. Like if there's fat. But yeah, I didn't even. Oh, it wasn't until the end of the film where the credits were like 5 or 10 minutes, where that's when I went, all right, yeah, I got, and because I waited right to the end to see if there was any fucking closing, what it called, uh, closing, um, little cliffhanger things, I forget the, but yeah, I had a look and that, but no, there won't. And probably there won't be an Expendables 5, I don't think. Because, as I say, Stallone was in this film for about half hour. And so, it's where fucking in had somewhat doing where he could not fit because he's getting old that whatever it was he didn't want to be in all of the film and that, and so Jason Statham is basically the fucking like because most of like the Expendables, it's been Jason Statham and Stallone. They've been the main sort of protagonists in Expendables. Obviously, there were Expendables and there that are protagonists and that, but mainly it was Stallone and Statham. But in this, it was a bit of Stallone and Statham, but then Stallone sort of like had somewhat planned because he wanted much of Expendables after the first half hour, and then fucking Statham sort of takes over, where it sort of follows Statham's like little quest that he's put himself on because he's fucking like can't give too much away because it's no major spoilers, but he feels a bit guilty. Let's put it that way. He feels a bit guilty for fucking something and that, and so he goes on a quest to like redeem himself. I gotta say, fucking great fucking action. You know what I mean? Like I think some people have been giving it shit because fucking they've been saying there's so much action in it, and I can see where fucking some people, because as I say, like with the John Wick 4, if you haven't seen 1, 2, or 3, like all it's gonna be is just action, 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 and that. Where if you've seen 1, 2, and 3, then you know the storyline. So when all this action is going down and that, well, in the John Wicks anyway, because the storyline's pretty complicated. Where in the Expendables 4, the storyline is not too complicated because it's one of them where you don't have to have seen 1, 2, or 3 to watch and enjoy Expendables 4, but it would help because then you'd know sort of like fucking the like references because Randy Couture is what the one with the cauliflower ear. He sort of like does his story of how he got the cauliflower ear and that, and so like there's references back to number 1 and that and 2 where fucking if you've seen 1 and 2 and that like and 3, then you're like, oh yeah. But if you haven't, then you will be like, oh well, oh you're just learning the characters. But it could be a standalone film, but obviously if you have seen 1, 2, or 3, it is better because the action in it is so crazy and that shit that it is mainly more action than storyline. Definitely there. So because the storyline's quite simple. Well, simple enough to follow. It is really just to stop a cool Akoro Uwan's his character from like detonating this big nuclear bomb. So like the storyline's fucking simple, but there's so much action in it and that yeah you couldn't really do a too complex storyline because fucking there was people getting took out. And I did find though, like the Expendables was fucking taking out people like fucking really easy, as in there was 1 or 2 obviously fight scenes in it and that, but most of the time, fucking they were just like popping their heads like fucking. But it's Expendables, you know. It's gonna be a bit corny here and there, you know. Is and out of all the Expendables, I would say number 4 has took it to a limit where fucking, as I say, I don't think there's gonna be a number five. A, because Stallone's probably like, nah, I don't know. Yeah, fuck this shit. And I think they're like wanting more beds in, and Stallone knows like if he puts so many beds in the Expendables, it's gonna look like Disney fucking Star Wars, and no one's gonna want to see that. So he's got himself fucking at that stage where I think it's like right, probably finish Expendables sort of like now sort of thing, and especially because it's not done that good, but it's rated an R in America, which I think is 18 or above, or it could be 21, probably depending on what counties or maybe because it's adult rating. So if you're not classed as an adult until you're 21 in some states and that, well, in the UK it's only a 15, so it should do good in the UK because there's plenty of fifth. Well, it'll do good in sales. I reckon on the DVD and streaming for like 15-year-old boys. Cause fucking in one of them films where fucking considering it's only a 15, and because I was thinking, oh fuck, because I was expecting it to be an 18 with it being rated R. And I was thinking, oh fuck. They're only showing the 15 version, but then I looked at the running times, and the running times were exactly the same. So, and when I watched it and that, I could see where there was like fucking enough fucking like uber violence fucking scenes and that like yeah, I can see where it would have been a fucking 18, but UK 15, so yeah, because there was no gratuitous sex. It was just like violence, gore, and bad language sort of thing. Because yeah, I reckon and all yeah. Now thinking about it, yeah, they would have known about it being a 15 in the UK because it didn't show any tits. And I think if you show tits and that in sexual, which there was strippers, but there was a stripper that had a fucking clothes on. So they could get away with fucking showing her sort of like dancing on a pole. But yeah, fucking if they'd have shown her tits, then it would have probably been an 18 because it's sexual. It'd been in a sexual content. So yeah, 15 in the UK, as I say. Americans, fucking hell. I thought R rated was fucking because America's got a 15 rating, but it could be one of them where fucking it classed as R rated in America and that, but UK is like 15. So school kids can watch fucking Expendables 4, which I've when I was that age I'd seen fucking just about as violent films and more sexual fucking content than Expendables because I say they probably didn't want to get fucking rated an 18 in the UK, so it didn't show gratuitous sex scenes or out. You didn't see no tip. The closest you get, as I say, is at the end where Megan Fox is wearing a really tight fucking wife beater's vest, and you can see it tits, defo. Obviously, because I was at the cinema, I couldn't fucking pause it and zoom in. But definitely, you could see nipples and all. I reckon a nice 4K copy, pausing it, zooming in. Yeah. Little bit of fucking AI editing, and it'll be like, you got a tits out. Yeah. Most of it and all fucking, it happens sort of like on a ship and all, which fucking, the effects for it and all were good. You know, like, obviously, there's parts of it where you know, yeah, that's CGI and that, because fucking, you, you just know, like, oh, there's no way they're going to be able to do that in real life. Or there's no way they're going to be able to afford to do that in real life. So, but the CG was good in it. CGI was good in it. As I say, there was a little bit iffy parts here and there where fucking, because of fucking the situation and that, you know, like, oh yeah, it's got to be CGI and that. But most of it though was fucking live action and that. That's the thing with Expendables. That they do like to do most of it live action and that, and only use CGI if they fucking have to, or either budget reasons or of safety reasons, sort of thing. So, but usually, yeah, they will go fucking old school, which is fucking good when you see it because it's more believable. You're like, oh yeah, fucking. Obviously, because I'm so much of a fucking like fan of action films and that. I've seen so many that I can see when it's like a little bit of a pause because fucking in rehearsals they might have been a bit quicker or a bit slower because I definitely can see how fucking shit and slow fucking women are, and that's why I don't like watching women fight scenes. Usually 99.99% because it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna be slow and fucking jerky. Where there was some slow and jerky bits in it and that, but there was so much action going down that you expect like a few parts for it to be like not running smoothly, but usually with bad fight scenes, it's like, oh yeah, because the dudes are having to fucking make themselves slower and fucking clumsy cunts, or else they're gonna beat the shit out of the women. Well, as I say, the two women in this didn't have much action scenes. Like I would say they give them like two or three, but short ones. Because like Jason Statham, he had some nice fucking long action scenes where it's like fucking hell yeah. Like this isn't a major spoiler, but it's a bit of a spoiler because I was like surprised when I saw this shit. But there's a scene where Jason Statham's on the motorbike with machine guns mounted on the front of this motorbike and that, and like okay. I won't go into any more detail apart from to say that yeah, he's just burning around, fucking shooting the shit out of people. And like, yeah, some good fucking stunts and all. One of them where, like, yeah, fucking, we'll, we'll make it look a bit fucking crazy and that shit. Because, yeah, explosions and all. I was saying, like, oh, yeah, it's full of explosions, but there was so much action scenes in it, like, yeah, there were going to be explosions, like tanks and fucking other vehicles getting exploded and that. Where fucking I loved it, mate. I was like, yeah. But as I say, it was so actiony that like fucking the plot line didn't have to be that complicated. As I say, it's not that complicated. The plot line. There was so much action and that going down, explosions, and it looked like some of them were fucking real explosions. Oh, and I say something and all. There's a bit where fucking Stallone's up in his plane and from the ground they're firing rockets, heats, fucking ground to air fucking missiles and that. And so fucking he fires loads of these fucking flares, like, and yeah, just the amount of fucking flares. That was like an explosion in itself, and that fucking really good action scenes on it. There were so many though, as I say, like some of them was a bit ropey here and there, but most films are good action films. If it's so much like with the John Wicks, if you've got so much action going down, one or two of the scenes might be a bit like, oh yeah, fuck it. Well, might not look the best, but it looks good enough. Oh yeah, fucking really good fucking action and going down low. So one of them where don't expect much on the plot line. As I say, the plot line's pretty simple. Fucking Aiko Uraz, who's like the main bad guy, real good at martial arts. He's stolen these fucking detonator triggers. Well, he's got the trigger, but he needs the detonators. But the detonators are just normal. Well, not normal detonators, but they're just detonators that he needs to detonate this fucking nuke that he's fucking got. Like, so yeah, you don't see him nicking the nuke because he's already got the nuke. So you just see him like take these detonators and then they're like fucking expendables has to go stop him detonating this bomb. And that's like the basic plot line of the film. It's like really simple. Fucking don't you don't need to think about it too much. But the action scenes it was fucking great. A little bit of a twist and that, but I don't want to go into too much here. But yeah, there is like a little bit of twist and turns. But that's just the main film, sort of like a nuclear bomb's gonna get detonated. I forget exactly where it's gonna get detonated, but it's gonna kill loads of fucking people and start a fucking World War Three. think it's somewhere near Russia or wherever. But anyway, the mission is to just fucking stop the dude from detonating the fucking bomb. So yeah, plotline really easy. Plotline. As I say, when it comes to like reviewing this film and that, like yeah, it's gonna be one of them where I'll be like, oh no, I'll have to fucking take loads of fucking screenshots. But yeah, I don't think they're fucking. As I say, they're gonna do a number five. 'Cause I think it'd be one of them where if they do a number five, the fucking and it's Lionsgate and all, but Lionsgate, the time they've done number five, would have got all woke probably and be like, oh yeah, we want more females, and so I don't think Stallone's gonna do a number five. I think he's like right, Expendables for fucking we'll leave it sort of like where we don't want to be doing a number five. And if people don't fucking go watch it and that, but some people might have gone and watched it and that, but there could be a thing where companies and that are just not seeing. Because, like, when I went, there was like two other dudes watching it and me, so there was three of us. And so I'm thinking it shouldn't do too bad. It just might be one of them where the people who are going to watch Expendables 4 probably like haven't got time during the day, so they are going to have to cram it in that weekend. But I think and all, they're hoping a lot of 15-year-old kids go watch it and all. Where fucking I might let them down because fucking the kids nowadays probably don't want to see fucking action. So yeah. But maybe the fucking like rumor. Well, it's not always more than a rumor, but maybe the fucking like kids might find out that Megan Fox, you can only see her tits at the end. Maybe that might get them like, yeah, let's go see fucking Megan Fox's tits. But yeah, great film, as I say. Fucking, I, I was happily fucking enjoyed it. But I don't mind Jason Statham. It's one of them where if you don't like Jason Statham, you won't really like this film because it is mainly it's one of them where if they didn't call it Expendables 4 and you didn't know about the characters and that, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a Jason Statham film. Where the other fucking Expendables, you'd been like, oh, well, it's it's a Stallone and Jason Statham film. Where in this, yeah, it's mainly Jason Statham, as I say, and he does a great job though. Does a fucking great job because he's a masculine fucking British dude. So that's why I think It's probably not going down too well in America. America's do, doesn't want to be reminded of how soiled they are when they're seeing Jason Statham shagging fucking Megan Fox, fucking taking fucking outlaws or fucking bad guys and that. Maybe that's too much for them. It's like, no, I don't want to see British dudes. I've had enough. But yeah, Dolph Lundgren in it for a bit. Probably Stallone and Dolph Lundgren. They're on the same sort of par of time in the film, sort of thing. But yeah, they're getting a bit older and that shit. Dolph Lundgren does a bit of comical sort of shit where fucking they're taking the piss a bit and that. But yeah, like Randy Cortez or uh, Couture, that's it. Couture. Yeah, fucking he does some fight scenes and that. 50 Cent does well. Tony Jaa, as I say, he does some fight scenes and that. Obviously, Iko Eulis, he fucking does a lot of fucking like fights because he's like the main bad guy sort of thing. So don't do loads, but he does quite a few in that. Has a nice fight scene and that, like you seen in the trailer with Jason Statham. Pretty good fight scene in that because they're both sort of like really good sort of martial arts and that. And then yeah, Eddie Hall, he didn't have much of a fight scene, but he does have a fight scene. And yeah, Jacob Scapio, who's supposed to be what's his name? Plays Puss in Boots and that and Desperado. Why am I blanking on his fucking name? Uh, but anyway, he plays his son, and so he's supposed to be like a younger version of him, and that. Fucking, well, fucking thing. Um, Antonio Banderas. There you go. It just come to me. Uh, uh, Galgo. Yeah, he played Galgo in number 3. Antonio Banderas. So, like, dude, he's supposed to be his son, and that who's like really fucking like Antonio Banderas' Galgo character, and that. And oh yeah, there was another dude who's sort of Aiko you as his sort of fucking henchman, sort of like second in command. He doesn't have much of a fight scene, but when he does, he like does it pretty good in that shit. Gets like fucking um, sort of took out in the end, but yeah, he does a real good fight scene. He could have done a better fight scene probably, but it was like, oh yeah, well we don't want you doing loads of fight scenes. We just want you to do fucking like one or two. Because as I say, there's so much action going down. Jason Statham does most of it and all that. Like yeah, it was like oh yeah, we've got enough fight scenes here. So yeah. Uh, Megan Fox, yeah, air fights scenes are like where she just does that where she grabs and throws her legs around the neck, and then they'll just fucking do a somersault and land on the back, sort of thing. Where it's like, I don't know if that could happen, especially to a dude who's fucking twice away. But anyway, as I say, they knew like not to put any fucking. Cause she had about like two or three fight scenes like that where she'd just fucking jump on them. Uh, she'd shoot a few, but and then the other bed, yeah, she sort of like was using the chain a lot, and I say like it was a bit too fucking out of place for Expendables. But yeah, she had two or three fight scenes where it was just sort of like throwing a chain around dude's neck and that. Yeah, done all right like for women fight scenes, you know what I mean? But luckily enough, you had Tony Jaa and Nico Ewers and fucking Jason Statham doing some really good masculine action fight scenes and that. We're taking out dudes and that. Yeah, because I'll tell you something. There's a bit where fucking Metal Gear Solid, like fucking, I think it's two, where you're on a boat, or is it three? But anyway, there's one of the Metal Gear Solid fucking games where you're on a boat and that and you're going around like fucking doing your mission on this boat. Where fucking there was parts of the film that was just like that, where Jason Statham was like Snake, just fucking ghosting people and fucking making sure fucking he wasn't spotting, getting spotted and that shit. Oh yeah, fucking real good film though. Really good fucking film. As I say, a bit of a disappointment if you was expecting Stallone to be in it, which you would do considering he is in one, two, and three. But as I say, I don't mind Jason Statham, so fucking I was like, yeah, fucking. I'm happy to fucking watch Expendables 4 with Jason Statham just fucking kicking ass in it. Yeah, he takes out loads of fucking. Like, I don't know the exact kill count because obviously I was watching the film, I wasn't counting. But it's gotta be up there. Gotta be up in the hundreds. Maybe 200s. Because fucking Jason Statham probably took out about fucking 75. And then the rest of them, like, took out what, about 10, 20 each sort of thing. So yeah, I reckon the kill count's got to be close to 200, if not more. But obviously, no one's done the kill count yet. But yeah, because most of them, no, as I say, there's about 200 kills, and most of them were like fucking, you saw them on screen. It wasn't like in Star Wars, where there's probably about fucking 100,000 fucking million deaths when they blow up planets and fucking stars, but you don't see it. But on camera deaths, yeah, there must have been about 200 of them. One of them where probably the fucking stunt dudes were having to fucking grow mustaches and that shit. Just sort of like, you're like, oh yeah, look, there's that stunt dude who died in like 10 minutes ago. But really fucking good if you're into masculine action and you're like, yeah, fucking, I want to see fucking Jason Statham kicking ass with Stallone helping for a bit in the first 30 minutes. No major spoilers, but um, there's a reason why fucking he's only in it for 30 minutes though. So like yeah. He's like, oh yeah, right, there we go. I guess Jason Statham, which I was fucking glad because it could have been one of them. Because fucking. It's not a major spoiler, but a bit of a spoiler here where fucking Megan Fox is put in charge. And so luckily enough, it was like, right, well, we're going to be following fucking Jason Statham. Hey, Maura, saying hugs, yeah. Cheers, Maura. Yeah, you're talking about Expendables 4 and that. Fucking saying like, fucking action is fuck. Action all the way. One of them where I had a packet of like these little cookie biscuits, like, you know, because I was gonna like munch them halfway through the film, like you usually do, you know, when you like get to that point where it's like, oh yeah, it's fuck all happening. I'll have a little munch. Well, I didn't even munch until the end of the film when the rolling credits came up because there was so much going on. I was watching it that I totally forgot. I had them in my pocket, and even if I had remembered, there was so much action going on. There was like a bit where I could have got them and that, but fucking, I was just watching. It's one of them where if you go to the toilet, you're missing about like 10 or 20 kills. Well, in certain parts, anyway. But yeah, I was saying there's a part though where Megan Fox sort of like gets put in charge, and so it could have been like where Megan Fox, it could have been a Stallone and Megan Fox film, which luckily enough it won't. It's like a Jason Statham film featuring Stallone, where the rest of it, 1, 2, and 3, as I say, it it was basically fucking Stallone and Statham the film, where a bit of the buddy movie. I would say a cop buddy movie, but they're not cops. So like a mercenary fucking buddy movie. But yeah, great fucking film. As I say, if you like Jason Statham films, then you'll love Expendables 4. But if you don't like Jason Statham films, then yeah, you you're gonna be like real gutted like 30 minutes into the film. There's gonna be another hour worth of Jason Statham kicking ass. And I say he fucking does a great job. Fucking I was loving every fucking minute of it. As I say, like I had some fucking sort of cookie biscuits that I had fucking in my pocket in a little bag. Like fucking that I didn't even open until right at the end credits where I like putting me sort of caught like, oh yeah, yeah. And I felt like, oh yeah, yeah, I should fucking hit them. But yeah, fuck, I say, great fucking film. Like Stallone, he's only in it for the first like 30 minutes, so and the other hour of the film is mainly Jason Statham kicking ass. So I loved it. I was like, yeah, yeah, fucking. But as I say, if you don't like Jason Statham and you was only watching Expendables for Stallone, then yeah, like the first 30 minutes you'll fucking be alright with, but after that, like no, this is just a Jason Statham film, which as I say, it fucking is like, but he does a fucking great job, and I fucking love to watch Jason Statham action films, so I was like well fucking happy. So, but yeah, I say the plot line is really simple. Just um, I call you as we. Oh, you see, because he's got these like nightsticks which cops use in America, where it's a bit. It's a wooden pole with a wooden pole sort of like sticking out of it. But with his sort of nightsticks, he sharpened the ends of it and that. So he he's like a bit of a nasty sort of dude with him and that. And yeah, and so he, as I say, he's got a bomb that he's gonna fucking set off to, well, a nuclear bomb. He's got a nuclear bomb that he's got these detonators that is gonna enable him to set this fucking bomb off, nuclear bomb near Russia, I think, to start World War III, and that's the sort of main thread line to the film. Obviously, there's twists and turns that I'm not going to spoil in the film, but yeah, that's just the plot line of some dude wants to start World War III, and the Expendables have to stop him by stopping him setting off this nuclear bomb near Russia. Because they're on a ship, as I say it. That's how they getting the bomb there, because they put it on a ship. A big ship and all. Like, it's not a fucking little boat. As I say, this fucking ship's so fucking big that, like, it's off. It's a big trawler sort of thing, so it's like off fucking one of the Metal Gear Solids. I forget which Metal Gear Solid it is, but yeah. Oh, oh yeah, and Eddie Hall, as I say, he's in it for like 2 or 3 minutes, sort of thing. He has some speaking lines in it, so he's probably got into the Actors Guild, sort of thing. And so yeah, he's like say a biker dude, sort of like a bouncer biker dude who fucking gets fucked up anyway. But yeah, I think this is all like first sort of action film role, so they're not gonna give him too much of a complex fucking action fight scene. Yeah, it was like fucking some other dudes and another big dude, but yeah, not much of a fight scene. As I say, Jason Statham does most of the fight scenes in this. Like, real good and all. Because he's got sort of like enough experience of different fight scenes in that like, yeah, they mix it up a bit. As I say, not a major spoiler, but there's one scene where he's burning around with machine guns on like a fucking motorbike that's like fucking got like it designed like Street Hawk, so he's got a button near his fucking throttle that he can just press to shoot the fucking machine guns and that. And so yeah, there's a fucking bike fight scene where fucking yeah, you go around just shooting shit out of people and that fucking one of them where it's probably been done before in that, but they did it fucking great though. You know what I mean? Is like we've all seen someone getting punched out in a film, but you know you still do it great. So it's not the first time we've seen anyone fucking riding around on a fucking motorbike, shooting people with fixed turrets. But they did it good, and so it's like any scene. If it's filmed real good, it don't matter if you've seen it before. You know, if it's done good, it's like oh yeah, okay, yeah, no complaint. So yeah, I'm well happy with him. I think maybe because Megan Fox is in it, maybe the fucking got people who won't watch it because Megan Fox is in it. But she didn't have a fucking son slash daughters in it, so she she was playing a sort of like quite fucking normalish person, if you can be that way sort of thing, whilst having your son's penis chopped off. But anyway, yeah, as I say, fucking great film, great fucking film, well worth the watch. Fucking the uber violence in it, as I say, is one where I love fucking because I'm used to it. Cause I've seen so many fucking action films and 80s action films. So like, yeah, fucking, I'm used to fucking people getting fucking their heads chopped off and the throat slit and all that shit, and fucking like blown up bodies and that shit. But if you're not though, like yeah, because um, Mara would be all right, but Raquel, I reckon if Raquel was watching it, she'd get a bit fucking squeamish at parts. Because as I say, now real gruesome, but because most of it and all, with it being Expendables, they don't do it that believable because they know, well, it's an action film, you know. We don't have to make it that believable. We just got to make it look pretty believable. But we don't have to go into fucking making it look too real because fucking it's a bit of a corny action film. So but obviously they know like they need to make it look fucking pretty realistic, or else people aren't gonna watch it. A bit of a corny action film if the action and fucking effects and that look corny. So they got the action and effects looking fucking really good, and that. Obviously, as I said, there's bits here and there where it's like, oh, but it got so much action in it that, like, yeah, they had to fucking probably rush a few scenes here and there. And not fucking spend too much time on fucking CGI bits. But as I say, there's not that much CGI used because most of it is like practical and that. So fucking real good film. As a fan of the Expendables series and that, I love the film. As I say, but if you're not a fan of Jason Statham, or you just don't like watching masculine British dudes kicking ass, then yeah, this film is going to be fucking not pleasant for them sort of people. But as I say, I'm well into Jason Statham sort of action films and that. And so I was like, yeah, the action's fucking done good. They didn't fucking make the beds too overpowered. Obviously, they give them the power to hang with the boys, but they won't fucking taking out loads of dudes. They give them their little moment to shine here and there, but most of the fucking action was done by like the dudes. And I say, especially Jason Statham. It's I say one of them where you could have fucking labelled that as a Jason Statham film featuring Sylvester Stallone and that. And people be like, oh, right, yeah. Obviously, yeah, but Stallone's name carries more weight than that. So, well, yeah, so. Well, anyway, fucking great film. But if you don't like Jason Statham, you won't like this film. Because it is mainly mostly Jason Statham, sort of like fucking character of Lee Christmas is sort of like film where his character is sort of like, as I said, the main. Because like 1, 2, and 3, it was him and Stallone who was the main characters, but in this, he's pretty much the main character. But yeah, great film though. Fuck 10 out of 10, obviously. Fucking didn't have no tits, but enough explosion and actions, sort of shit going down. Like yeah, fucking. Well, we recommend it. It's like fucking um, with the accident man. When I recommend that, it's like whatever you say about it, you won't be like, oh well, there wasn't much action in it. And fucking John Wick, one of them where whatever you say about John Wick 4, the Expendables 4, and that won't be, oh, there wasn't much action in it. Because it's fucking crammed full. As I say, I love it. Fucking, it could have been longer for me. I'll happily watch another hour's worth of fucking people getting the throat slit and fucking shot in the head and fucking took out by fucking a machine gun turret on a fucking motocross motorcycle. But yeah. But for some people, it might be like, oh, it was just action, action, action. As I say, storyline is simple as fuck. We just got to stop some crazy dude setting off a nuclear bomb near Russia to start World War III. That is the plot line. That is the fucking plot line. Now, as I say, a few twists and turns in it, so. But yeah, it just mainly the action. Just loads of action shit. And as I said, there was bits where fucking the Expendables were just fucking nearly invincible, where they was just fucking taking out loads of dudes and that, where fucking you're thinking, oh well, maybe fucking one of them might have fucking got a shot in, but as I say, it's a bit of a fucking cheesy action sort of fucking series where 1, 2, and 3 sort of try to keep it a bit more realistic, even though 3 started to go a bit crazy. When, especially when they had fucking what's her name? Oh, Ronda Rousey in and that shit. Where you're thinking, oh yes, it's got into the realms of fucking make believe, and so there is some bits in it where it's like, yeah, fucking hell, which crazy bastards fucking writing this shit. Well, whoever it is, they're like, yeah, fuck it. We'll just fucking make sure we get loads of great action in it. And trying and please the sign bitches was showing them some fucking birds kicking ass. Which I think might be one of them where they've gone from being like a man's movie from number one to being sort of like, hey, look, we've got some chicks in here just to show you soy-nerd bitches that look, you can perv on them. Because there's a few scenes where fucking the Lavi Tran who plays Lash, I think, and that she's wearing a top where she's showing half her tits off. And when you're fucking in the Expendables, second on a big ear, like, I don't think she'll be showing her tits off like that. But anyway, you could see it was like, oh yeah, let's get these soy-nerd bitches, fucking. We'll show some scantily dressed bad. They love it. But one of them where they showed so much masculine action. So counteracts the soy-nerd bitches. See, but I fucking loved it. Fucking masculine as fuck. even though they had bears in it. But as I say, there was so much masculine fucking action in it that, like, the bears fight scenes, it was like fucking on for like in total must have been about 5 minutes because you see him do like about a 30-second fight scene, and there were about three of them. And so yeah, and there's like shooting bits and that. So yeah, the women though in this film have about like 5 minutes worth of fucking kicking ass. Where the dudes, especially Jason Statham, as I say, they have like fucking an hour's worth. So fucking great for masculine action and that. And it's alright for a bit of a perv for the soy haired bitches, but obviously they'd have to put up with all the masculine action. I think they'll probably like fucking download it and just watch the pervy bits where you're basically seeing fucking Megan Fox's tits basically in a tight top. But yeah, it's a great film. Fucking, I loved every minute of it and that. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Fucking action all the way. Mainly Jason Statham, and Stallone's only in him for half hour. But Tony Jaa and Iko Juarez and Dolph Lundgren and Randy Carruthers and fucking, it was like fucking kick ass and that. Fucking great film and that. So yeah, thanks Tamara for watching and that, and thanks to anyone else for watching on the re-watch sort of thing and that. So yeah, um, I watched the first episode of the Continental and all, so I'll be doing a fucking review on that soon. But yeah, I said do the Expendables 4 just because, like, yeah, fucking real good. 10 out of 10.